Good evening, everybody, and again, welcome back again with another live show again on the channel. Yes, it is the match review and player ratings from today's nil-nil draw away to Man United today, and I think a lot of you can tell by our reactions, even our fan base as well, that I'm really delighted to go and get a point down there, considering it's a place where you do really shocking at a lot of the time. But to go down and get a point, and we really fought today. We really battled today for me, which is what I was like to see as well. I mean, Mason, I think anyone would have snapped their hands off for a point down at Man United before kick-off.
Oh, definitely. Especially with the chances we've created a few chances like the one from the two from Joelinton, and then obviously we'll touch about on it later on, the two penalty decisions as well, which I think the Callum Wilson one is a definite, but Dan Burn, I think it could have been if it was like the right call, but and again, it could have been a high scoring game if Man United buried them chances away. Them two chances by Fred and Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, I mean, and the one before that through Fred as well. I mean, Man United, yeah, they had some opportunities, but they were very wasteful at times. I mean, what you on about the penalty decision that we should have had when Wilson was brought down by Varane? He was definitely touched within the box, and to me, that was a penalty. Even the commentary saying there was a penalty as well. I don't know how they said that wasn't a penalty because he's caught him.
Even our dear friend Richard Keys even said that's a penalty.
Wow.
It just shows it was a clear penalty, because when I looked at closely, that Varane touched his leg and he was going to basically put him to the floor. Mm-hmm. So he did go to the floor, but in my view, it should have been a penalty.
Oh, it's a penalty again. It should have. I don't know how that wasn't given, but it should have been. But the two opportunities were had through Joelinton. First, when Trippier whips as the free kick, which was then hit off the wall, he then whips it back in with his left foot, and Joelinton has two great opportunities. One that hits the bar, and one that hits the post. I mean, that's two opportunities in a space of seconds of each other, and he's hit the bar and then the post. I mean, that's so unlucky. That I think that's the only problem with Joelinton at the moment, is when he's those chances. I think he's got to be scoring them for me.
He can. When I watch it back on the highlights, I thought I was just saying to myself in my head, how is he not? How was it not 1-0? I thought you should be scoring there. I mean, yes, he's been decent for us over this past year, but come on, he should be scoring that, man. Yes, he's a decent midfielder, but he should be doing a lot better with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but other than that, he had a really good game the day again. You can tell when he holds up the ball well, and also when he's winning the ball off other people as well. I thought that it was good to see. I mean, were you surprised he came straight back in and that Joe Willock was dropped to the bench?
For me, yes, because I was thinking Eddie Howe would be keeping the midfield as it was against who was it last week? Brentford. And I'm surprised. Yes, it's Man United, and Eddie Howe must have been thinking about the Man United game where we drew 1-1, which that was the start of Joelinton's best one of his best games from last season, and he must have wanted him to do the performance against Man United the day to win the game, and he has to give him a point. He nearly scored, so overall he had a good game today.
He absolutely did. It was good to see him back. I think Eddie Howe brought him back in to try and stop that Man United midfield from coming at us as well. I thought Bruno, it wasn't his greatest game as it was last week, but he was doing what he was doing way better than the other Bruno that was in the other side by a mile as well.
I'm surprised he got booked for the diving. What a surprise.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he put in a tackle before and he was complaining to the referee, and well, he knew what he did, so he was yellow carded there for it. So I don't think he had any complaints, and he just whinges at the referee every time when a decision like goes against him or away, it goes against him or against Man United in the side in general. He's always trying to get in the referee's face.
Hmm. I mean, Anthony, and another talking point, Anthony, he
Hmm.
nearly got sent off, didn't he?
That could have been that did look a bit of a naughty tackle, didn't it? I mean,
Hmm.
it could have well have been, but
I mean, now we're going into Everton for the conference. Next Sunday for
yes,
the conference. Yes, Tottenham are a really good side, but we can still go out and either get a point today, either a point next Sunday or win, because it's now showing we can do it because we've went to Old Trafford and
yep,
gotten the point of a really good Man United side.
absolutely. I mean, yes. I mean, we were going to have no fear going to this game, and that is exactly what happened. We had some really good opportunities, which they just didn't take them there. That was the thing. But we really battled in that game today. We really, really did, and
Mm.
that's what I like to see. That's just what we like to see now because we can do it, and we're now looking at what we are doing under Eddie Howe. So
I mean, like if we have Maxwell back and Isaac, they'll make the team a little bit better.
yeah, I mean it's gut wrenching to hear what's happened to them. That they could be out as little. Of course, we all heard that Craig Cole reported yesterday with the ASM with his hamstring, and now we heard it the day that it was Isak with the same
Fine.
thing with his thigh muscle. Now we're hearing Isak could be out for maybe until after the World Cup, but we'll just wait and see on that one. Shelby was on the bench today, but didn't come on. Were you a bit surprised with that as well?
Yes, and a bit of no because I know that he was coming back from like his injury earlier, like his recovery earlier than expected. But I thought he was either going to be back on the bench against Everton or at Spurs on Sunday because yes, he didn't play on, but because if somehow he played today, it might have been a little bit too soon for him to come back to play. But
Yeah,
I thought he would have gotten like maybe the last 2 minutes just to see how he is, or the last 5 minutes just to see how he is, and then if he's okay, he make it longer in the second half on Wednesday, or if not, give him the full game against Everton.
yep, absolutely. Guys, if you do enjoy tonight's live review that me and Mason are doing, please, of course, do hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel, if you're enjoying the content, and you're not yet subscribed, do hit the notification bell because it does let you know whenever I go live or there's been a video that's been uploaded to the channel as well. You can donate because we do have Super Chat available, and feel free to become a member as well. We'll rattle through some comments as well because we've not rattled through those yet. I can't wait for Wednesday night against the Scouse Mackhams. I'm feeling confident we'll beat Everton at St James's Park.
I am as well. Yes, they got beat off Tottenham, but it's now better than us going to Man United and getting the point,
Yep.
whilst they got beat at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium 2-0, which they made the first goal. Pickford made a mistake, which
Yes.
cost them the first goal, and then
Yes.
their defense was a bit of a screwed for Højbjerg with the second goal. So Everton are known to make mistakes. If
Yeah.
they could do it on Wednesday,
It could do. I mean,
because they're known to make mistakes.
yeah, that's it. Even in Pete's White past 4 games at Old Trafford before today, we conceded at least 3 each game. Yes, absolutely, we did. You were talking 3 goals or more. The last few visits, we were going down to Old Trafford. I mean, last season, 4 goals. Last season before that, 3. Before that, 4. As well. I mean, 3 when we're 2-0 up in Rafa's last season as well. I think it was 4 before that as well. So it's good to see where we've now come along as a team now, and we've only conceded 9 goals as well this season in total.
It just shows you we're a different team compared to under Bruce. Benitez in spells had a good defense,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes wasn't good enough.
Yep.
And then previous managers, apart from Benitez, defence was just a joke.
Aye, it certainly was. 4 points off top four. It's crazy not saying we'll get top four, but it is. Again, it's just how we are performing as a side now this season. It's big six bias. To be fair, it was a penalty, but by the letter of the law, I think the Ronaldo goal should have stood. It kind of evened itself out the day. In a way, it did. I mean, it's a hard one. Was it because that Craig Pawson his hands was up still, and it means he's not ready for the free kick to be taken, or Fabian Schär was giving it to Paul for him to take the free kick. And
I
then
think
Ronaldo, of course, he nicks around the ball and he puts it in, but he was complaining, and the more he protested to the referee, he was yellow carded for it.
I think it doesn't matter what Craig Pawson does. It's a matter of what the Lino says, because he's direct in front of Nick Pope and Ronaldo.
Yep.
He should be the one more directly asking or saying why am I not putting up my flag, because he hasn't took his free kick yet, but it's still a free kick. But why does he not just take it sooner and waste time? Because if somehow it was a goal, then and it stood, that wouldn't have been Craig Pawson. It would have been if that wasn't Craig Pawson, or it was a different Lino, then they would just give that goal away to Ronaldo, because it's Man United. The Man United and biased.
Yep, absolutely. Jacob Murphy today I thought did very well. It's just his final ball is still a little bit his downside. I mean, there was a chance he had, which De Gea made it very easily. The shot wasn't very powerful. But other than that, I thought he was doing well, bombing down those flanks. I think he was giving Dallo a bit of a rough time. The same with Anthony as well. I mean, the way Murphy jogged back with Anthony to win the ball back, and he actually won the ball off him, was really good. So I wonder, it looks like that possibly Eddie Howe has been doing some work with him, some extra work with Jacob Murphy, because we're starting to see some improvement from him now. It's just the final ball for me.
It is. I just want to say something as well to a certain Mr. Dubravka. I want to tell you why you're not in the Newcastle squad. Because the performance Nick Pope displayed today shows you why you're not being in the Newcastle squad week in, week out. Yeah. Look at the saves what he made against Man United. Yeah. Would you have done that? Absolutely not.
I mean, yeah, that's what you wonder. I mean, Nick Pope's been brilliant since we've got him in. We've conceded less few goals and all that. And one of the problems of Dubravka's was his distribution at times. But again, Jacob Murphy, do you think that we're now seeing the improvement, and it's his opportunity if we are going to lose ASM for a while now?
I think so. It's just a matter of time, because you've got 2 games coming up in the space of a week. He might keep Jacob. He might give a French player a chance on Wednesday, like the likes of Elliot Anderson. I just don't want to talk about Fraser because he's not good enough.
Exactly. I mean, Murphy was taken off. Fraser was brought on, who did absolutely sod all for me when he came on the pitch. I think it's time we look to get Fraser out very, very soon. I mean, his performances have been really poor for me. The final balls from him have not been very poor as well. Even though Jacob Murphy would criticised his final balls, but I've not seen good enough performances from Fraser for a long time now.
I don't know why. I don't know what. Why he's not been good enough. But to me, I think you need to start Elliot Anderson on Wednesday against Everton, because it shows you why Fraser isn't good enough.
I mean, you could do that. If he was to stick with Murphy, then fair play. Murphy's been doing well. But if he's not going to keep Murphy on for full 90 minutes, go with Anderson, because Fraser, for me, did absolutely nothing for me today, I've got to admit. I mean, I don't know what's happened. I would like to know what's happened. I like Coffee's in the house. Hope you well. We may not have won against Man United, but I had a big win today because I got to meet Patrick Cliver at an El Clasico event today. He still loves Newcastle and gave a shout out to the Toon Army. Oh, nice one. Really good. I don't know how Joe hit that post the second time. It was harder to hit the upright than to score. It was again. He should have scored that. Still happy with the result. Yes, we still are. Squeaky bum time at the end, but a well-deserved point. I mean, Man United had some two glorious opportunities in the end. The one through Fred, which he off target. I mean, he was awful today for Man United.
He's not good enough.
I don't know what he brings to that Man United side. I mean, I don't know why Eriksen wasn't there today for Man United.
That's what I thought as well. I thought, why is there no Eriksen? Yes, I know why Martial wasn't playing, because I think he's injured. So, but with Christian Eriksen, I thought, wow. But if that was Christian Eriksen for that Fred chance, Eriksen would have just took it away. But obviously,
I mean, he would have, tried to aim for the goal a lot more better. I just think Fred is a poor player. The fact he says he does well for his country, but he's not doing it for Manchester United. And I've seen a lot of the Man United fans have said the same. They think he's a really poor player.
That's why Man United go with Eriksen, because Eriksen's a much better player than Fred, because he's got that Premier League more. He's got more Premier League experience because he's played in the Premier League for 10 years, 10, 15, 10, 11 years now. And he's got that more Premier League experience compared to Fred. He's only played like a handful of games because he's been like, I don't know if he's played a handful of games or he's played more, but it just shows you Christian Eriksen's a much better midfielder than Fred.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the chance for that Rashford missed at the end as well. I mean, I was very surprised he was on the bench for Man United today, but that was he was a poor header from him, and he just couldn't direct it on target. That was the thing. I mean, I think Man United were very frustrating today. I mean, Ronaldo looked frustrated. I mean, he did look happy when he got taken off.
I think if that happened, I think obviously it's been said that Phil Neville wants him into Miami, but if somehow he keeps being taken off like on the 75th minute, then he might want to leave, because obviously with him not being really happy when he got subbed off, just shows he wants to play 90 minutes. He wants to play every single game because he's that kind of player. But say year out of pure quality.
Yep, definitely. Murphy had a bit of one of his quieter games today, I've got to admit. I mean, he had that chance when we played a corner right across the ball was going outside the box, and he took it with his left, but it went over. So it was a little bit good, but I thought that was one of his quieter games from him the day. So there, Dan Burn at left back. It's when he got the yellow card, he really started to struggle and keep up with the pace. And I thought there was one time he made a bit of a silly challenge, and I thought, oh no, that was going to be him gone, taken off. I mean, for me, we should look to be getting Target back in for Everton. For me now,
not just Everton. He's going to have to play against Tottenham, because he's going to be playing against Heung-Min Son. And he's going to be playing against Anthony Gordon, which are two quality left mids. So he's going to have to change. He's going to have to change Dan Burn, because it's going to be a problem if he starts Dan Burn on Wednesday and Sunday, because he's going to be playing against Gordon and Son, who have got the pace.
Yeah, that was the thing, and I thought he was very close to being sent off for a second yellow card. So yeah, and the good thing is Eddie Howe, I think, knew he had to take him off at some point in the game. So, but I agree. I think Matty Target should be looking to come in now for me. I mean, Dan Burn's been really good for us, but my God, as soon as he was booked after that, he really started to struggle, in my opinion. Who's this other? Bruno, says Liam, exactly. Bruno Guimaraes definitely better than Fernandes today. What was that Ronaldo goal attempt where he nicks the ball off Pope and slots into an empty net? I mean, yeah. Tottenham's performances ain't been convincing, judged from what I've seen from Spurs fans. Interesting. We should still be unbeaten. We should be. at the moment. I think that was a goal with that Nick Ball. Lol, if that was Wilson did it, we would have been screaming. Probably would have been, yeah. I'd have loved to have beat Man United today because I'm tired with all these draws. The fact is, we've not only lost one game this season at the moment, and that was against Liverpool, which we were robbed of that because we should have lost that one. But the fact is, one defeat we've only got this season. And look where we are now. We're sitting top half of the table, sitting in a Europa League position.
Nobody would have ever predicted us and Brighton being in the Europa League spot because us and Brighton have spent the money, gotten decent players. Yes, Brighton had to replace Cucurella, but they've still got a quality left back in because he was quality when he was at Villarreal. Yes, he didn't get a chance at Watford, but he's a really good left back, especially when I've seen him against Liverpool. He was decent, and that's what Newcastle should be getting for like backup for Target because Dan Burn, it shows you today against Man United, he's not good enough playing at left back because he's playing against a pacey wing Anthony, and if he starts against Everton on Wednesday, he's going to be playing against pacey game Gordon, and on Sunday if he starts again with Youngman's Son. So, but going back to the table, I didn't expect us and Brighton to be up there. Yep. Nobody else would have, because us and Brighton have spent the money. We've got the right players in, we've got the right backing,
and the players want to play for this football club as well. That's the main thing as well.
We've got rid of the Deadwood as well.
Majority of that, yeah. Isak will be back to Leicester away. I've heard something about that. Tony, good evening. Hi, Peter Mason. A good point. A best defensive record in the league. I mean, we've got to talk about Fabian Schär and Sven Botman for me the day, who were an absolute rock at the back, particularly Sven Botman. I mean, we haven't lost a game when he's been in there. Sven Botman's been starting games for us. I mean, he just shows why he needs to play week in, week out now.
I think we need yes, we've got Trippier, but yes, Shaw's been decent. Yes, Target's been decent, but for cover, like if somehow we sell Lascelles in January and get another player in like him, I mean, wow.
No, I mean, that would be great.
Our defense with him, wow. I mean, him and Fabian Schär today, wow, what a performance. It just shows you why Dan Burn gets put to left back, because Eddie Howe's not going to change Shaw and Botman because they're working really, really well, especially against Man United. So I hope he doesn't change that against Everton. I hope he doesn't change that against Tottenham, because it's a really, really good pair and I'm really happy with it.
Thoughts on Steven Gerrard's comments before the game against Chelsea? I don't know what they were. Wonder what was said, what he said. Botman was the stuff for me the day he was solid as a rock. Fraser will be gone in January. If not, when summer comes, he could well be. Why didn't Anderson get any game time? I was a bit surprised, because to me, he really should have the day, I thought. Because we've given this opportunity. I'm just a bit surprised why Eddie didn't bring him on.
He's going to have to start again. Murphy's done well, but if he starts Murphy, he's going to have to give like Anderson half an hour, because I've said it loads of times. When he came on against Palace, he was really, really good, and that's how he's been kept on the bench. He's kept playing like in certain patches of games, because he's a really, really good player.
Yep, absolutely. The only thing with the SM injury is we've not counted on him playing. He's missed, but we are more capable of cracking on his absence. That's the good thing now. We're not as worried now, because Murphy's tried to step up his game now, which is good. And we did need ASM pretty much for Brentford, because he was on the bench, but came on with some time left remaining. I know previous games we've really been wishing he would be back fit, but not this time. I think we're starting to manage well without him a little bit in a way now.
I just want to say, since he's been out, Alan Saint-Maximin, Miguel Almiron has been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was a little bit quiet the day at times, I've got to admit, but still Still do what he had to do at times. I've got to remember. Liverpool win against City. Big result. Great news for Spurs, Arsenal, and potentially Spurs. I think that's kept Arsenal 4 points above Man City now, after Man City lost to Liverpool. Man United just made one sub change too. That was very surprising for me as well.
They'd made 2, didn't they? Oh, yeah. Oh, it doesn't matter. Because, Rashford came off for Ronaldo.
Yeah, it was actually just one. Just Rashford, which I was a bit surprised. Ronaldo is awfully certainly not the player he is now. Man United fans want Ronaldo gone. I mean, he was very frustrating. I didn't think he was really at it the day Ronaldo.
Look, compare when he played us last season. Yes, we were poor, but he dominated us by the bit. But he's come to now, a season later. I don't know what's the matter with him. He looks a different player.
Yeah. Burn at left back stinks. Target needs to get fit. Yeah. Could do with Target. Bird, right, he's looked at it. He certainly did. After getting the book, it's just when he got the yellow card, he really started to struggle. Mason just had a Sinclair say Anthony Gordon's quality. He's not a bad player, I've got to admit. Anthony
He isn't. But I said why, because I said the quality because if Dan Burn plays left back on Wednesday, then the quality of Anthony Gordon is going to cost you if he plays at left back.
It could do. Well, yeah. White Trout says that already Gordon Burn can handle him, but play Target at Spurs. Yeah. Miggy Wilson not at their best today, but will come back better. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, Wilson had an opportunity, but he scuffed it wide as well. Clippity Klopp finally got sent off. I mean, I see what he did. He went right. He started charging down the touchline and started to really have a dig at the linesman, and Anthony Taylor just pulled out a red, says, off you go. Squad depth is what we lack. We still do a little bit. If Target isn't fit, I'd start Lewis out. We need to start looking at...
He's not good enough.
Oh, do you not think Lewis deserves an opportunity?
When he came on a game, I was a little bit harsh here, but I think it was one of the games.
I mean, he did come on against
Fulham.
Yeah, I mean,
he wasn't good enough.
It was following the goal, but I think because he's been very played, he's going to be a little bit rusty in a way. I mean, it's because Dan Burn is going to get caught out a lot of the time. Matt Target, if he picks up an injury. So Lewis, because to me, Dummett, it doesn't have pace for centre back now.
No,
that's the thing. Gerard said Chelsea should be battering Villa at Villa Park. Oh, Jesus Christ! If Gerard's come out and said that, my word. Liam says we need a left back, a midfielder, and a winger in January. Winger, I would say we do. Left back, that all depends on Jamal Lewis, I would say. In terms of a midfielder, I'm not so sure. Because the good thing is Shelby's now come back fit into the side. So we've got options in there now. I mean, I thought Longstaff wasn't too bad again the day for me.
I think.
I mean, was that a penalty, though? Because that could have been a penalty for Man United.
I was thinking, because I seen it. Either Longstaff tried to flick him, like tried to touched his leg, and he fell down, or Longstaff actually touched him. For what I seen, I don't know if I'm going to get a little bit sick, but I felt Longstaff tried to touch him, and he fell down.
Maybe that could.
That's what I see. I know I may get the stick, but I feel like Longstaff tried to touch him, and then he fell down.
It could be. I mean, that could have been a penalty, I've got to admit, but it wasn't given, probably because we didn't get that one in the first half. So apparently we are linked with Luke Shaw. Would you take him?
Nope.
I mean, he's not a bad left back, but he can be made of glass a lot of the time.
That's why I wouldn't bring him, because he's injury prone. Yes, he's a decent left back, but the reason why I won't bring him because of the injuries.
I mean, I thought he was very good in the Euros last year.
Oh, he was outstanding. At least he didn't get injured.
That was the thing, but he can be very much made of glass at times. That is the problem with him. Again, this draw gives us confidence going into Wednesday night, and we believe we can take Everton and beat taken Everton and come away with 3 points in that game.
Yes, we can. Sometimes I always like to talk about the business what they've done compared to like ours, but Everton's yes, they've brought in players, but
I mean,
the only decent,
they've got Maupay, Calvert-Lewin's now back from injury.
they've only brought in Neil Maupay because they had no recognised striker.
They did because of what Calvert-Lewin was out with an injury.
And
So, but Everton, we should be looking to get 3 points against them. Of course, it'll not be Pickford. It'll not be looking forward to it.
I think he might not want them. I think he might not have the confidence because of the mistake he made against Tottenham yesterday. But with Pickford, sometimes it's always sometimes he carries a mistake on him because he can make mistakes. Make mistakes sometimes.
I mean, how people said that wasn't a penalty. I mean, Pickford, you could see he was in his face. He knew what he'd done. He spilled the ball out and he brought down whoever it was again. Was it Kane? I think it was actually.
I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, so he knew that what he did. He made an error on that.
But going back to Everton, I think I really like that Onana because he looks a really decent midfielder. I don't know how but I don't understand how he's went to Everton because we're going so close to going to West Ham and then going to Everton. I thought, how was he went there? I just didn't understand, but I really like him. He's a really good midfielder.
Yep. Philip says he wouldn't bring in Luke Shaw. Liam thinks we'll see us go back in for Maddison. A player like him would be fantastic for us.
Definitely.
I think we'll beat Everton, but lose at Tottenham. Tottenham's going to be a hard game, but again, we'll go at this game not fearing them, like we did going to Man United, and in games like that because of who we are now. But it is going to be a very challenging game. Feeling confident for the Everton game, should win that. We should. Everton's a team you look at should be thinking we got to get 3 points. I mean, we've won our last 2 games against them at home. Of course, 3-1 and 2-1. And Callum Wilson has scored in his last 2 in both of the games he's faced against Everton.
Yes, obviously, no disrespect, but they've got a championship centre back. I'm sorry, they've got a championship centre back playing for them. So it's Tarkowski.
I mean, he's not the quickest, is he?
I mean, they've got a decent right back. They've got 2 decent right backs, but it's
Connor
just
Cody's I do like Connor Cody though.
yes, they've got Connor Cody, but it's just Tarkowski. For me, he's a championship midfielder. That's the problem. That's the problem for me. He's a championship centre back.
I mean, he does get caught out a lot, doesn't he? He isn't the quickest, is he? So that is the thing. Liam said it was a rugby challenge. There you are. So there you are. I mean, how we've got a chance of picking up more extra points with the upcoming games. I mean, Everton, again, we should be looking to win. Spurs is going to be hard. But Aston Villa is another team we should be looking to get, who are on a rotten run of form as well.
They've spent more money than us. Obviously they've signed the players who we were linked with as well, but they haven't been great this season.
I mean, one of them, he just signed and he's out for a long time with an injury.
I mean,
Everton can go down, but the COD say it. I don't think they're probably going to go down now. I know I predicted them, but the Ops slightly playing better than what they have been. We usually do well against Villa. I mean, we did win the last game, but we were drawing games at home against them, but we were losing away against them as well.
With Villa, they've been poor this season. We're much better. We've been much better than them. We should be going into that game full of confidence, as we could be, as when we need to be every game, especially the cup competitions coming up against Crystal Palace.
Yep.
Which we need to be confident in. Villa, yes, they spent money. Yes, they've brought in decent players, but they haven't been good enough this season.
No, that's the thing. They've been really. I mean, they were going to get beat off Chelsea today anyway, but they're just really very poor team at the moment. That is the issue with them at the moment as well. And I think that's a side we could take apart as well. We should also beat Southampton away in November. Yes, a team really struggling, sitting at the bottom three at the moment as well.
They've got a decent point today as well against West Ham. Yes, West Ham are a really good side, but I thought West Ham would have won that, but I'm really surprised Southampton won that. Yes, they've brought in like players, spent money, but half of them were from Man City's under 23s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, but I think that's a game we should be looking to go and win down there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Liam thinks Southampton will go down good. They probably could.
I think if obviously it's been reported that after led to believe one of Man City's coaching staff who is highly rated, like if they get rid of Hasenhüttl and get him in, he could do like another. He could be the next. I think he's led to believe. I think he's Turkish, but he could be the Turkish Pep Guardiola in my eyes if he's highly rated.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking how Hasenhüttl is. There's a lot of games he gets found out for me. I mean, he's had 2-0 9 defeats. One at Man United and one at against Leicester. So, but there you are. But again, you see a lot of comments from our fans just delighted with the point, getting that down there as well. And I think we've rather seen a lot of Man United posts. They were really not happy with that performance from their side today. I mean, they were playing in the Europa League the other night, and the majority of it was the same side.
Mm-hmm. Apart from
Rashford didn't start.
Did McTominay start on Saturday? I mean, not Saturday.
Thursday. He did, but he didn't play the day because he's on 5 yellow cards, so he was suspended.
Just lucky enough, he didn't score a 93rd-minute winner.
Oh, yes. Well, Rashford missed an opportunity to do that at the end of the game.
I know.
And his header was off target. It was a poor header. As for Palace in the cup, we should beat them. Yes, we should be looking to beat them. Yeah. I mean, we need to have a decent cup run this time, no matter who we're facing up against in the leagues, because we're going to have to play the big teams at some point as well. And there you are. Right, we'll go on to the last part of the show, and that is going to be the player ratings. So hopefully it should be some really good ratings for a lot of players out there today, because we did really put in a shift. So here we are. Yeah, Mason, kick it off. Nick Pope.
I only seen snips of him, but to be honest, he had a decent game.
Yep.
But for the saves I seen, I want to give him an 8. Yes, he had decent saves, but I only seen a few. If I seen all of them, I would have given him a 10. But since I only seen snippets of it, I'm just going to give him an 8.
I think it's a good rating, I would say as well. I thought his distribution was good as well. There was times he knew when to catch the ball as well, so I think an 8's a very good rating. So there, even Phillips going for an 8 for Pope as well. I will go next on to Mr. Kieran Trippier, captain another day, and I thought he did very well again. Not in terms of set pieces were very good from him the day, as well, particularly the one where he did hit the free kick into the wall, but then he got it ball back and he whipped the ball in on his left foot to find Joelinton. I'm going to give Kieran Trippier an 8 as well.
I'll give him an 8 as well. With the snippets I've seen, because I didn't watch the game, but with the highlights I've seen of Trippier, he looked decent. So apart from some of the set pieces weren't good enough, but overall I'll give Trippier an 8 as well.
Yeah, right, Mr. Fabian Schär.
10. What a performance!
Oh,
What a performance, man! Come on, him and Botman should be getting tens after that performance today. By God, what just shows you we've got two decent centre backs at the club. Yes, yes, 10 might be a bit high, but I'll either give shot either between an 8 and a 10.
yeah. Well, if you've given Fabian Schär a 10, I think since I'm going with Sven Botman, I think you've got to give him pretty much the same as well, because he was just so good at the back today. He just really was. Well, Philip's going for a 9 for Schär as well. So definitely round about between 8 and 10 for Sven Botman as well, because he was just an absolute rock at the back. For me, definitely. Right then, listen, Mr. Dan Burn.
I think, in my eyes, he'd probably be like, oh, I feel a bit harsh, but I'm either going to give him a 7 or a 6.
Yeah, I think that's quite fair as well. Again, I thought before the yellow card he picked up, I thought he did very well. But then it was after the yellow card he really started to get outdone by a lot for me, which really, and I thought there was a tackle which he made, and I'm thinking, oh no. But yeah, I think a 6 would be fair enough for me as well. I will go with Mr. Sean Longstaff, and I'm going to give Longstaff a 7. I thought he did well for me the day. A lot of people said he was one of the poorest. I don't think he was for me the day. So
He looked decent.
yeah, I thought he wasn't too bad. I think there was times he made some he wasn't usually doing his like sideways or backwards passing a lot. So yeah, I don't know why I thought people would have been a little bit harsh on Sean Longstaff today. Well, Mason, you could have Joelinton. Oh, them 2 chances.
If he scored like one of the chances, then I would have given him an 8 or a 9. But I think I'm going to give him a 7.
I think 7 or an 8 would be fine. I think 8 would be fine as well. I mean, yeah, he had those opportunities, but he was doing well winning the ball back. His holder play at times was really, really good for me. And he's just a warrior in that midfield.
Like if he scored, I would have given him higher, but when he made certain chances, I would give him a 7 because yes, he did well. Yes, he did well with like the passing and that, and so I would just give him a 7.
Yep.
He did well, but if he like scored like one of them goals, I would have given him an 8.
Yeah, I mean 7 for Longstaff, Joelinton an 8. Yeah, right. I will go with Mr. Bruno, and I'll give him a 7. It wasn't one of his better games, I've got to admit, but he still does what he normally does. In terms, he was winning the ball back of other players as well, and he was definitely way better than Bruno Fernandes today as well. So I'll give Bruno a 7 today. Even Phillips going for a 7 for Bruno. And then Mason, you can have Mr. Jacob Murphy.
To be honest, I would actually give him an 8 because he worked his arse off a day. He was good. He was good in patches, and it was just a shame he got subbed off. But for Jacob Murphy, I'll give him an 8.
I think if he was coming off, it should have been Anderson, not Fraser, on for me.
Exactly.
Yep. I mean, the final product, but was there? But I thought in terms of getting forward, and I remember that time he won the ball off there. Anthony was really good as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he was really putting himself about. Phillips going for a 7 for Murphy. I think 7 would have been a fair score as well. I will go with Miggy, and I'll give him a 7 as well. Yeah, not one of his greatest games as well. At times he looked a little bit quiet for me. He had that opportunity which he blazed over the bar, but I'm glad we're seeing a lot more good performances from Miggy now at the club.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're now seeing something in him which we have been missing there from him. Phillips scored for a 6 for Miggy. That's fair play. Yeah, I said I'll give him a 7. And then Mason, final player, Mr. Callum Wilson. Didn't get a lot of chances of the day.
Yes, obviously he nearly gave away a penalty.
I
But
mean, yes,
for Wilson, I would give him a 6 because
yeah.
he didn't do enough to get he didn't do enough to get like a 7 or an 8. But for Wilson, I would just give him a 6.
I think 6. Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a lot of chances, and he had one which he really, really scuffed for me. I mean, yeah. So I think that's a fair one. Oh, Phillips going for a 5. Wow, interesting. Very, very interesting. Right, we'll go with the substitutions, and the only one the substitution we can only really pretty much rate is who came on for of course for Jacob Murphy is Ryan Fraser, and he offered absolutely nothing when he came on for me. He just didn't. I'm really just what has gone on with Fraser, because we saw glimpses of Ryan Fraser last season. Where's that gone?
It's just something's must have. To be honest, I think something's must have happened with him and Eddie Howe for him to be not the player Van he was last season. Because where's the confidence what he had last season?
I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna give Fraser a 4 because he did absolutely nothing for me when he came on.
I was going to give him a 3 there.
Yeah, 3-4. I think that's reasonable as well, because it was just disappointing.
It was.
And of course, the other substitutions, we had Matty Target, we had Chris Wood, as well. We did have Joe Willock on as well.
Did not have the cells on as well.
And yes, we did going into stoppage time with Jamal Lascelles, but they weren't all on for very long. So I think we'll just go straight down the middle and give 5s for them.
Yeah.
So there you are. Fraser, a 2, says Philip. He's definitely a gunner. Absolutely. Right then, we'll take on to the manager. You can have him, Mason, anyhow.
Ooh. It'd be a tough one, this, because yes, for getting the point, for keeping the clean sheet against Man United, Eddie Howe gets a 7 from me.
Ooh, 7. Ooh,
Yes,
I would say go. Oh, I would probably attempt to go higher, me.
I would either give him a 7 or an 8.
I think it's the lineup we all expected. It was great to see Joelinton back in the side, but the players are really playing for Eddie Howe. That's the main thing.
The problem is the reason why I give him a 7 or an 8 because of some of the substitutions he.
Yeah, you could question. I mean, if you take Murphy off, you could have got Anderson on. It was Fraser who was poor for me, and all the other substitutions, they were quite late as well, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I did say I would attempt to go high, but again, 7's still a high score for me as well. So that is the player ratings we've done, and that is it. We've also come to the end of our match review and player ratings show. So there, again, guys, if you have enjoyed, please, of course, do stick the thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel, or if you're enjoying the content and you're not yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. It's helped really starting to grow the channel a lot more. Hit the notification bell because it does let you know whenever I'm going live or whenever a video is going out on the channel as well. You can still donate. You can feel free to become yourselves a member of the channel as well, definitely. What we got coming up next on the channel, we will have the preview for the Everton game. So it's going to be either tomorrow or Tuesday for that one. But we will be definitely get the preview done for that one. And of course, we will have the fan reactions after the game, quick thoughts after the game, and there will be, of course, a match review and player rating show for that one as well. So there you are, guys. That is it for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend as well. Delighted, still buzzing. We've got a point down at Old Trafford, and I thought we really give them a game at times today, which was absolutely pleasing from the lads. It really, really was out the day. So until the next show, guys, we shall see you all later. Take care of yourselves again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night, everyone. Take care,
everyone.